Hi friends, good evening. In this video, I will be talking about a very important topic for investors, which is called bonds. And in bonds, we will be talking about perpetual bonds. So this is purely for education purpose and should not be considered as any advice. See, what happens is that right now, at this point of time, the question is where to invest money for conservative clients. So a lot of conservative clients are struggling with fixed deposits. So one option is going for corporate FDs, but again, the returns would be not more than 1%, 1.5% compared to fixed deposit, like maybe six, 6.5. And then obviously, people might say something about the private banks which are offering 7% rate of interest and 7.5 for senior citizens. But then not many people may be having accounts in these private sector banks. So that is perfectly fine, but as an alternative to the regular fixed deposits, bonds, especially perpetual bonds, have a good and significant importance. Now, what exactly are perpetual bonds? So, if you do a small study, perpetual, as the word suggests, means bonds which are there eternally. Now, what happens in a perpetual bond is that the bond is for a indefinite period of time, but it is listed on the exchange, so it can be sold at any point of time. And the bonds are freely tradable; you can sell them, and obviously, the point is that in these bonds, the multiple of investment is large. So that means you have to invest in multiples of 10 lakh rupees. That is a challenge in these bonds. However, the attractiveness lies in the higher coupons that they give. Now, the coupons could vary from, let's to give you an example, a State Bank of India bond could be in the range of 7.74%, whereas a Bank of Baroda, which is again a high quality rated PSU perpetual bond, would be 8.5%. Then certain older bonds could be in the range of 9.5%. So you get that alpha and spread in these perpetual bonds. But we need to also understand the risk associated investing in these bonds. So the risk could be in a year of no profit, there could be no payouts of the interest or coupon, which will be clearly mentioned in the information memorandum. Number two, if the bank goes bust, then obviously they come in the lowest clink, just above equity. So you may have a chance of losing your principal. So, like in the Yes Bank or the recent private bank, which name I'm forgetting. So there, people have lost their principal. So, what I would um, be the idea would be to kind of look at investing in these bonds with caution that you should go for only PSU bank perpetual bonds, like all good government PSU banks. So there the risk would be much lower, in fact closer to zero. However, as I've told you, the risk associated with these bonds as these are unsecured would still remain. But however, as an asset allocation strategy, so let's say you have 100 rupees, so you can put 10 rupees or 20 rupees in these bonds and some part into fixed deposit, and obviously remaining you can decide wherever you're comfortable. So this will enhance your overall portfolio returns. Now, coming to the last part, for example, if I were to buy a perpetual bond, what do I do? First of all, I need to have a demat account. Number two, I need to understand the credit rating of the bond. So anything above AA plus is a good bond. So ideally, State Bank, Bank of Baroda are all good AA plus kind of papers. Going for government would be PSU perpetual bonds would be safer. And then obviously, in terms of exit window, you can exit this at any time during the thing. So let's say you want to sell tomorrow, you can sell. So how, where from do you buy? So they are available in secondary market. So large secondary market players usually deal in these kind of bonds. So obviously demand and supply are limited. So on a day-to-day basis, so you will have to put your order through your concerned broker. And also it's important to check the charges. So there are a lot many people in the market who can charge you 2 rupees 3 years premium, 2 rupees 3 rupees premium on these bonds. So let's say a 10 lakh bond, where the usual margin should be anywhere between like fair margin according to me is like 0.5%. So it could be people may charge you 1%, 2%, 3%. So depending upon your understanding of margins and other thing, you should then accordingly get the right pricing for buying these bonds. Thank you very much for watching this video and stay tuned.